Hello YouTuber, welcome to another Vanguard deck profile. This is Ultima 125 and this is going to be my deck of Angel Feathers. So pretty much what we start out with is I start with first stage Celestial Peniel. So Peniel's effect is if she's on a rearguard circle, she's a forerunner, so like all forerunners, if an Angel Feather rides over, she goes back to the rearguard. But her effect is that she gets moved to the soul, no counterblast cost, and I get to call out one rearguard from my damage zone into an open rearguard circle, but I replace it by a face down card from my top of my deck. So it allows me to be able to replace some of the cards that I need, and I don't need to waste too much. I don't need to waste a card to fill up for that one rearguard. So it allows me to get some utility out. So I'm gonna go from grade 3 to grade 0. So I just showed you what my starter is, but that's for that. So what I run is 3 Cleanup Celestial Ramiel Reverse, because her effect is at limit break. I lock 2 of my Celestials, and you guys all know what lock is because Link Joker's out, and if you guys haven't figured that out yet, then I'm surprised. You guys should play more against Link Jokers. But but other than that, she gets plus 5,000 to my front row, so that's really good for like damage, for like big powers to attack. And with that, like, it allows me to like pressure my opponent a bit more. And if you guys are wondering why I'm running 3, I'll explain that later. So because like Ramiel Reverse is a cross break ride, I run the original Prophecy Celestial Ramiel in my deck. Obviously, she's a break ride, and every time she attacks, she gets a plus 2,000 if she's attacking the Vanguard. Limit break is her break ride is I get to take 1 card from my damage zone and put it into my hand, and replace it with a card from the top of my deck. So similar to Peniel, but it doesn't require it to be face down. And all break rides gives plus 10,000, but and I run 3 of her because 3/3 that's equal, and it gives me an equal chance of getting both of them out together. The next grade 3 is I run 2 Solidify Celestial Zarchiel. Now you guys are wondering why I run her. Is because the other effect that I didn't mention about reverse Ramiels is if there's another copy of her in the damage zone, then I get to activate her. Then I get to activate her Limit Break, which was lock 2, and get plus 5 to my front row. And you guys are probably wondering by now, why don't I just run 3 Zarchiels, 3 reverse, and 2 break rides? It's because I really do like the Zarchiels getting plus 3,000 to all my rear guards. But like I, for some reason, don't find myself like being able to like do that, because like I don't feel comfortable not having too much break rides. I'm probably focusing way too much on the break ride and not the grade 3 utility. But it really gives me like more options to do. And nonetheless, this used to be a Zarchiel deck. If I haven't done a Zarchiel deck, pretty much it's 4/4 of her. Pretty much that's the only difference. But it was really hard for me to change it up from Zarchiel to Ramiel Reverse, because there's a lot of Celestials that require Zarchiels in the damage zone. And like I said, Zarchiel's effect is if there's a copy of her in the damage zone, she gets plus 3,000 to all Celestials in my field. So so I have 2 guards pretty much that gives me big powers to attack my opponent, and it allows me to decide which way I want to go. So the next cards that gives me this deck up is I run 4 Candle Celestial Zariel. Her effect is if I play her in the rearguard circle, cannot be played in the Vanguard, but if she enters the rearguard circle, I counterblast 1, search my deck for 1 Angel Feather, and place it into my damage zone. And she is really helpful for me to get the same copy of Ramiel or Zarchiel into the damage zone without even having to try. Unless if I get lucky enough and my opponent does it for me. With that, then she really is just there to block or help me do some more damage. But even though she's an AK, with the help of the Zarchiel or Ramiel giving her the power, it really helps her too. And I run 4 of her because it's really easy because it makes me more easier to draw her and allows me to activate her effect, so that way I could get a copy of either Zarchiel or Ramiel into my damage zone. So the next one is Wild Child Celestial Red Will. She's a 12k attacker. there's really nothing to explain here. 12k attacker. Yay. Right? Right? And I run 2 Essence Celestial Becca. 10k beaters. You can't go wrong with that, right? Right, viewers?
Maybe.
Maybe?
We'll find out.
And I run 2 Emergency Celestial Danielle. Supreme, and what her effect is, her effect is a unique one, because like in the old one with the old meta Angel Feathers, there's a card that can only be activated in the damage zone, and this is the same thing. Her effect is if a card enters my damage zone, I get to counter +1 and call her to my rearguard circle. So she is really good for either setting up my field or allowing me to get an extra defense if I'm getting attacked again. Occasionally, but I only run 2 of her because it's really hard for me to find replacement for her, because she's a 9k and I'm already running 4 8ks, which with a candle Celestial Suriel. So it was really hard, but I found out that running 2 of her is good enough, because if she enters the damage zone, it's really unexpected for both me and my opponent. And because of that, it allows me to have more defense. Instead of using my hand, I use her to defend more. So that's the reason why I run 2. It works for me, but I don't know about you guys. Next one, I run 4 Marking Celestial Arbahaki.
A really complicated name nobody knows how to pronounce.
Seriously, how do you pronounce some of these names? I really want to know, but she's a grade 1 10k beater if she's attacking on the rearguard circle, so she's a good booster for 7k. Really good booster. Zarchiel also is my Vanguard, giving her plus 3000, making her a 10k booster, but other than that, she's a 10k attacker for just a grade 1. If I have a Celestial as my Vanguard, so I run 4 of her because I need like other grade 1 options other than the cards I'm about to show you guys, because she's my only card that I'll hope to ride. Other than that, like, it's alright for me to ride other cards. So the other cards is 4 Adamantine Celestial Anil, and she's a Sentinel for Celestials. So Sentinels, what more can I explain, right? Alright, so I run 4 of her because of all the break rights and all the metas that's going on in the meta.
Ooh, excuse me, I burped. I'm sorry.
I run 3 Nursing Celestial Nariel. And her effect is if she enters the rearguard circle, I get to switch 1 card from my hand into damage zone and take 1 card from my damage zone and put it into my hand. So she is a Love Machine Noshiel's effect, except she's a grade 1 and not a grade 2. And it is very helpful because not only she's a booster, but she's also giving me a chance to switch a card out of my hand. So if I have 2 Zarchiels or 2 Ramiels in my damage zone, I play her down, I get to take 1 down and be able to play her next game. Next time is my turn. So she is very helpful. She's really good. I only run 4 of her because running 3 of her, because if I run 4 of her, I see myself drawing her way too often when I don't need her all that much. So I bumped her down to 1. So and her effect can only be activated if she enters the rearguard and not the Vanguard circle. So that's the reason why I hope that I ride Arbahakis into the Vanguard. But if not, I'm okay with that. And I run 2 Underlay Celestial Hestiel. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. I run 2 of her similar to the Zarchiel because her effect can only be activated if I have a Zarchiel copy in my damage zone, and she gets a plus 3000 on my turn if that happens. And so she becomes a 9k booster, which is a big boost for any cards she's boosting. But sadly, because I run 2 of her, it's highly likely I will do Zarchiel. But if I do her, she becomes like 12k booster instead of a 9k if I do Zarchiel and her. Many of you are wondering, like, if Zarchiel is like really that good with these combination, why didn't you go it? Hey, you could go either way with the Celestial. You could go all Zarchiels, or you could go Ramiel. But for Ramiel, you gotta do a mix because like these are the only Celestials. These are all the only Celestials that are out in the set currently right now, because I could not find any Celestials that are out in the meta. So because of that, I was limited down to my resources. So I was forced to do this. So I forced myself to do this, and it was working really well for me, and I like it. And like in most decks, I run a rainbow triggers. So pretty much I run 4 stands, 4 heals, 4 crits, and 4 draws. So pretty much draws for me to have more hand utility, crits for more pressure on my opponents, making them wonder when my crits coming out, stands so that way, because like my rear guards are getting plus 3,000 or plus 5,000, so why not give them more power by standing them up and giving them the plus 5,000? And the heals, because they're heals. Why would you never run them? Honestly.
I bet there's people out there that don't
Like-
run like 16 crit.
Probably, but other than that, like what, like if you guys are challenging yourself and not run heals, then you guys are just crazy. And I would love to challenge you guys one day just to see your skills. I would love to. I would love to.
I would love to get stomped down by a deck that doesn't run heals.
Yes.
That would be very entertaining.
So that is my deck profile of all my Celestials. Like I said, if you guys are wondering, if you guys still have more questions about why I run some of these cards, then go ahead and put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them as fast as possible or as calmly as possible. And if you guys haven't seen my deck go into action, then then go ahead and watch them. And if, other than that, go ahead and watch the my other deck profiles that came out today. I kind of put this too high up. So yeah, go ahead and watch them and enjoy it. And I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys been watching my Vanguard battles, and I will see you guys all either next time in my Vanguard battle or in the next deck profile. Later.